Let's do some shoulder rolls that loosened up. And the other way. Okay. All right, let's pull on our rotator cuff muscle group. Give it a good stretch. Okay. Excellent. How many people are here today standing, doing standing Tai Chi? I see Simone and her friend, and are they? No, you guys are sitting. Okay, sorry.
I'm standing.
Everybody's sitting, right?
No, I'm standing.
Who is? And who are you?
Anya.
Sorry,
Anya.
Anya.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm standing.
okay, okay, I see you. Okay, good. So you want to be standing, Anya, with your feet about shoulder length apart.
Yeah.
All right, good. Bend your knees slightly. And try to focus on your connection with the ground. And as you come in, Anya, as you come in, I want you to rock forward slightly. And as you push out, I want you to rock back. And as you open your hands, I want you to rock forward a little bit on your toes. And as you push in, I want you to rock back. So you're going, leaning in the opposite direction that you're pulling or pushing, all right? And this is an excellent exercise to help with balance. Don't go too far, you'll fall over. That's happened to me. Excellent. And let's come down. Scoop up big bowl of energy from the earth, bring it up, pull the energy down from the heavens. Exhale, push down, collect the energy in the dantian, and let the rest dissipate to the ground. One more time. Breathing in, opening breath. Breathing out. Good. All right. Let's do 70 of these. That's 30. 40. 50. 60. Good. Although you don't, although it's subtle and you don't see it in the form, in Tai Chi martial arts, you grab a lot. You grab a wrist usually. So your hands, if you are practicing in that vein, your hands need to be strong. And this is an excellent exercise to strengthen the fingers. I try to do 100. When I get up to about 90, I get pretty tired. You should try to go as far as you can, unless you have some problems, but almost to exhaustion. And then you know that you're getting something out of it. And while we're at it, let's exercise the wrist. There's a whole area in Tai Chi called Chinna, Chinna, which is grappling techniques. Using the hands. So we're rotating thumbs up, right? And now thumbs down. Okay, good. So now we're gonna play with our ball, energy ball. Compress, expand. So if you break down all the moves that we're doing, there's always an expansion and compression mode. Another way of looking at that is coiling and uncoiling. It's very yin yang. So when I expand, I'm going to an empty state, and when I compress, I'm going to a full state. And so this flux, if you will, of going from full to empty to or wound up to unwound, coiled, uncoiled, those are all the same energies, are yin and yang flux from one to the other. And that's the only way we can generate power, if you think about it. You got to wind up before you can deliver, right? So all Tai Chi moves have this yin energy and yang energy, one following the other. And what we try to do is we try to maintain the two energies so that they're equivalent. If one energy, yin, let's say, is stronger than yang in the other direction, then things are not equanimous. So they're not in sync. They're not at ease. They're in dis-ease. And this is the whole basis of Chinese medicine, of keeping the yin and the yang energies to be equivalent, even though they're opposites, but they complement each other. Okay, so now so now I'm in an empty state here. Now I'm in a full state here. And when you go from a full state to an empty state, you release energy. You release chi, or energy. And that energy does work or generates power. Physically and even emotionally, because that's just the way we are wired. And if you look at our 20,000 or so enzyme systems in our body, you've got all these enzymes that are grabbing onto their substrates and then releasing them and turning them into products. And that is every time they grab onto a substrate. They're in a full state, and when they empty and release the substrate and convert it to a product, they're in the empty state, and that releases energy. And then those products go on to be consumed and metabolized and changed and catalyzed by other enzymes, on and on. And all of these systems are complementary to each other. Hundreds of thousands of yin and yang movements that make everything work just properly, just right. And the Chinese believe when the energies are not balanced, then that leads to disease. And so they attempt in Chinese medicine to balance those yin and yang forces. And Tai Chi just sort of exemplifies that whole system. It's a metaphor for the whole system. So as we practice Tai Chi, I believe that we are reinforcing these complementary yet opposite energies that are going on in our body in the form of biochemical reactions, and strengthening them and potentiating them. This has never been proven, but that's my theory. That by doing the movements, we sort of absorb the principles internally. And that is why these movements are so powerful for lowering blood pressure, for potentiating the immune system, and on and on and on. Okay, now let's rotate up. We're going to go straight up and straight down. Good. And you can always come back to this energy bowl, kind of re-equilibrate. To be honest with you, sometimes I do this because I kind of forget what I have planned for teaching a session, and I just kind of relax and do this a few times, and then I go, yeah, I know what I'm going to do next. Okay, which is this. Turning at the waist. Now, look back as you turn. I'm going to try to get around to this week making a video of these warm-up exercises for you guys. I keep promising that, and I will really try to do it this week. Okay, one more to the other side. Okay, and then push. Turn both hands and push out. Now turn both hands and push out. So you imagine that there's a couple of insects or bugs, I don't know, whatever, on the other side. You're going to reach across with the backhand to make it the front hand and swat it. And you're going to reach back with your elbow and swat the one in back of you. And so as you twist both hands around 180 degrees, you go to the other side and get those bugs on the other side. And just push to the side. Don't go any further. So you imagine you're in a corridor where the walls are right next to you. And you can't navigate beyond those walls. So you have to twist and turn your body. So you push against those walls. All right. And don't go too far. So we want to line up so that we are parallel with the sagittal plane that goes in and out of the screen. So you can see how I'm lined up here and here and here and here. So my arms are on the horizontal plane, moving in and out of the sagittal plane. And we can play around with these three planes that we move through space in this universe. So let's start with a counterclockwise motion, both hands together. There are actually 8 exercises in each plane. It's kind of like stirring a pot, right? And we go the other way. Okay, now let's go. This is convex, right? Like a bowl, in and out. So this is a horizontal plane, like the plane of a table. Nice and smooth. And as you stretch out, breathe in. You pull in, breathe out. So going out is full, coming in is empty again. Here we are, back to that basic principle, full and empty. Okay, now let's go convex, in and out. Try to relax your shoulders. You're going to start to get tired, but if you work through it, all of a sudden you'll be able to relax and into it. Okay, now we're going to go in and out, in and out, alternating, right? One hand goes in, the other pulls out. So one is empty, one is full. So this is interesting because there's always one empty and one full at the same time. And the other way. Okay, good. So there's this concept that's it's actually very complex. And there's a lot of controversy about what it actually means. But if you look in the literature, you'll see references in Tai Chi to double weightedness. So the rule is, oh, you're not supposed to be double weighted. And that can mean it's interpreted in different ways. But what it really means is that you don't want to be, you want to be 50% yin and 50% yang. Okay. And if you're overweighted in either yin or yang, then you're double weighted. And that means that translates directly into being vulnerable in terms of if you were fighting or drilling with somebody else, then they would be able to find your center and push you off if you're double weighted. And so this is a good example of we're never double weighted here. There's always an equal amount of yin and yang going on. And the same is true here in all of these. If this is double weighted, it's when this is going faster, and then one hand is going faster than the other. That would be one example of being double weighted. And if you try to do that, it's very uncomfortable. All right. It's much more comfortable to have them in sync, balanced, okay? There's a little esoteric Tai Chi philosophy going on here. Okay, good. So you can do that in any plane. So we've just done it in the horizontal plane. You want to do it in the frontal plane. This is the frontal plane. This is the horizontal plane. This is the sagittal plane. So there's only 3 ways we can move through space in those three different planes. This way, and this way. And you know, if you did it this way, like washing a window, it'd be like this, right? And then back, right? And then what? Convex. And concave, in and out, kind of like a fountain. And then let's try this. So this is alternating, and the other way. So I used to teach a class for you know, for people that had dementia, and I had about 30 students, and they love this stuff. And it's really good for their minds, because it makes them really, it forces them to, in a playful way, it forces anyone really to be aware of what's going on with both hands, even though they're moving in opposite directions. And you can do it this way too. Crane pulls wings. On and on. Tai Chi or Qigong, thousands of variations. Okay, I got actually diverted there because I wanted to bring that moving hands, which is part of a system, a very sophisticated system of push hands called Ilik Chuan. And all they do is this. And so you have these drills where you do this in different directions, and then you do this with partners. And the idea is to try to push the other person over gently using these movements. Okay, good. We did this from side to side. That's good. All right. And now let's come in and okay. Now, ready position to fists, heart of the fist up, fist at your waist, elbows back, twist, punch, and kick with the other leg. Good. All right. Let's try this exercise. So one hand is going to come in and the other is going to come out. So notice that the hands are opposed. One hand finger up, out, the other hand palm down, and you're going to make like a dragon. This is like a dragon, called dragon palm is what it is. Spread your fingers apart, and then fold your fingers in a little bit so that kind of like you're holding a baseball in here. I don't know if you can see that. You can imagine holding like a ping pong ball or something in the side. And now you're going to just push out and twist. See how you twist in and out, right? Really give it a good stretch. All right, good. All right, so now we're gonna come up with the heart of the fist down, and then we're gonna turn it over and come down, right? And bring the other one up and down. So now you are gonna end up with your fists on your lap with the heart up. So and now you turn your fist up and down, up and down, up and down. So lifting, you're blocking a strike, and then coming down here and protecting your groin. We're doing it slowly. There's a lot of martial implications in the movements in Qigong, although it's not a martial art. It's done for health and to increase energy and to improve your health. All right, and now we're going to slide the hands past each other, just like in the deflect move that we learned session before last. But you can see what's going on here is that which hand is full and which is empty. Think about it. Send me your answers. No, I'm just kidding. So the one that's reaching out is stretching, so that's full. And the one that's coming back is empty. And notice that one is complementary to the other. So if I were going to use this, I would strike out really hard. This is the beat of the neck. And I'd pull back just as hard to balance that force going forward. And notice that what that does, it forces me to turn my waist into the thrust, which gives it added energy. So here you have those two dissimilar or opposite forces complementing each other, complementing each other, sorry. Pure Tai Chi philosophy or principle. All right. So let's do this. Just swap. There's a lot of power in a whip-like action, as you know. Okay, and then this way. Good. All right, now let's try this. I'm going to do it in different directions. This is you're going to come out like this and in and do that. All right. So you're going to come up and lean back and then thrust forward. Now, if you can't lean back, that's okay. I'm going to turn sideways. And then you're going to alternate. So this is a little tricky. Let's see if you can get it, all right? So we're going to come up and out, up and out, and bring the other hand in. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we go. 1, lean back, stretch. Bring it back. Lean back, stretch. 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 And this is an application, which is to draw back away from the strike and then come back with a very powerful whip-like action, driving this heel of your hand into, could be anywhere, face, chest, heart, ribs, all kinds of stuff. All right. And finally down to the feet. If I can get lined up here. All right, so we put our foot down, lift the heel, and just rock back and forth, right? If you can't do this, then just do this other exercise that we did earlier with your fists, wrists. I think I see someone that's